Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Celebrity Challenge, and today we have Young Woman in the Sea. I am exhausted because this is my fourth attempt at doing this. Something goes wrong every single time I start trying to do this video. I never get to the end because something screws up early on. So, alright, hopefully this one works. This is Young Woman in the Sea. It is from 2024. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes long. It's based on a book from Glenn Stout called, a much longer title, Young Woman in the Sea, How Trudy Ederle Conquered the English Channel and Inspired the World. That is a spoilerific kind of title, because Trudy Ederle is played by Daisy Ridley. You know her from Star Wars, Force Awakens, the sequel trilogy, you know that. She's fantastic in this, and she's got a great American accent. So, she's got me fooled. She's English. Obviously, her real accent is the one that Rey had in the Star Wars films, but I think this is a really good American accent. I was fooled. I would have been fooled if I had not known that she was English. I would have assumed that she was just an American girl. So, but she's fantastic. This is a great cast all around. It's just great. You may not know a ton of the actors in this. You might recognize a few. Stephen Graham plays is somewhat small but important role in this. Christopher Eccleston, yeah, the ninth Doctor, Doctor Who. Yeah, he's not called Doctor Who. I'm just saying, Doctor Who from the series Doctor Who. Christopher Eccleston. He's plays an important but small part in this. This is a majority of this is just telling the story of the real Trudy Ederle, who's a young girl. The first time we see her, she's got the measles, and she is on the verge of death. But outside her window in New York City, she smells smoke, and she looks out the window and sees a burning ship. Her mother explains later that on that ship is a number of women from the neighborhood, and the ship was on fire, and they all burned to death. It's a very dark start to a story, but it's important because she's like, why didn't they jump off the ship? There's water right there. They didn't know how to swim. And so, burn to death, drown. What do you do? It can't be an easy question, an easy answer. So, but this puts something in her mind. By the way, at this time, within a day or so of this experience happening, it's pretty much determined by the doctor that she's got barely hours to live. It's going to overtake her. Like many kids in that era 100 years ago, the measles were rampant, polio, all sorts of different diseases that were taking kids out left and right. It was not uncommon for people to attempt to have large families because they knew that at some point they were going to lose a child, which is something a lot of us consider insane today, until you realize that we have people who now have let children get the measles because of and kids are needlessly dying and suffering for no reason because the measles was handled. We'll ignore all of that for now, but yeah. Anyway, she, Trudy Ederle, grows up with a passion and a desire to swim, even though it's considered inappropriate. Women, honestly, were considered too fragile, too precious, too just breakable to do sports that men and boys were made to do. And you couldn't challenge them. Oh my gosh. A woman doing something better than a man? A child, a girl better than a boy? We couldn't allow that kind of thing to be seen or heard. We are too masculine and better. And women are property. They're only meant to be married and then bred to give us more children. Yeah. That's pretty much the fate of just about any woman, even in America 100 years ago. Trudy grows up with an older sister and a younger brother, and they're expected to be married off to the first man that mom and dad bring to dinner some night. Trudy's while both girls have a love of swimming and they're intent to just really do everything they can to improve their skills and just love for the love of it. And even maybe get into some competitions. They do some friendly competitions when they are trained against other girls. Certainly never boys. But she excels pretty quickly and kind of makes some waves, pardon the expression, in the swimming world. At one point, she tries to, what can she do to really sort of break out to become something special? Well, she sees a man that came over from England there at Coney Island where she learned to swim, and he's making money to showing off how great he is at swimming, and everybody pays a dollar to be able to get their picture taken with him. That's a lot of money back in 1924. But her family lives in poverty. They don't really. To me, I don't think there was a real clear explanation as to the reason why she was really going for this. Was it to bring her family out of poverty? Was it just as a challenge, just to maybe to become famous? Maybe she wanted fame. Whatever it is, she had something to prove, and she had the opportunity. She knew she had the skills, or she believed she had the skills. She got to go to the Olympics in 1924, but she had something else she needed to do. She wanted to swim in the English Channel. Everybody's like, yeah, no. You're a girl. Go have some babies, and we'll talk about this later. Which meant never. But she's a little bit strong-headed. She gets her way. she uses, let's say, incessantly played music, even as a child, to get what she wants. That usually results in a beating back then. But in this case, even though her parents, she comes from a very stern, stoic German family, let's say mom has always been in her daughter's corners, her children's corners. It's something that's she was a bit of an, I believe she was a bit of an inspiration, at least how it's depicted here. Again, you don't know how these that's not a document, these biographies hew so close enough to reality. Obviously, some things get changed around in order to, make a movie more interesting. Paced, characters are changed, whatever it is. But in this case, mom just says one thing. She says it twice that I can recall in the film. She says, "I have decided," while sitting at the dinner table. And whatever follows after that seems like it's a done deal. And, of course, father always has to push back, because he's the man of the house. You don't do anything without his permission. Woman, you don't tell me what to do. Well, let's just say she gets her way. So, but her daughters get to swim, and it's soon discovered that the girl who could barely doggy paddle from her father's training as a young girl to adulthood, she excels like crazy. And so when she decides to take on the English Channel, there's a number of people who are trying to make money off of it. There's a number of people who are willing to help her and harm her on her trip to make this happen. And when it finally comes down to her making the trip, I'm not going to spoil any of the details. It's clear that she did it, because she's the first woman to ever swim the English Channel. By the way, there's also a little bit of footage at the very end of the film that you can see of the actual Trudy, and in her swim outfit and everything else. It's very black and white, and you get to see footage also of the biggest parade for any sports celebrity, I should say, in New York City history. Bigger than anybody, even Babe Ruth. Yeah. Nobody's had a bigger parade. So, so even knowing the end, even though you know whether she accomplishes it or not, they don't make these movies where they fail completely. This is not Rocky. Okay? And even Rocky didn't fail completely. He failed up. Um, this is it's how she gets there. The things she has to navigate, the things she has to get around, not just the people and the world attitude towards women, but the physical toll it takes on her to make it across the channel. 21 miles between France and England. It's it's traumatic. Let's just say, I was out of breath just watching this. So I highly recommend it. I did not expect that. I mean, other than Daisy, she's just great. I didn't really expect this to be like really captivating. Oh my gosh, this is really good. It's really good. It's really good. If you like those kind of sports overcoming adversity kind of stories, this is another one of them. Because those are the best sports stories, the underdog coming from behind, the hockey team from the Olympics. There's just Rudy, whatever it is, like anybody where you expect so little from them, and they knock you over with their talent, their skill, and their heart and their passion, and that's what this is about. Definitely check this out. I can't recommend it enough. Maybe not the greatest movie that's ever made, but it's a pretty great movie. I enjoyed it. So, let's pick tomorrow's episode. Did I say it's 2 hours 11 minutes long and it's from 2024? 17 is tomorrow's number. And 17 on this thing, hopefully before it doesn't die. 17, I've got 9% left. 17 is, I usually don't show it to you immediately, but here we go. There's a few of these featuring this gentleman. Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth. This is A Road Trip to Remember. Yeah. It's a series, so I'm going to watch the first episode at least, and I'll come back to you and talk about it. But, that's not what I wanted. There we go. I think there's at least one or two other Chris Hemsworth series where he just sort of challenges himself to do things. So, yeah, he's not just Thor. Chris Hemsworth, A Road Trip to Remember on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. That's what we're watching. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.